Welcome to 9/24/2012, and before this trading day starts in 12 minutes on the opening bell, I'm going to let people know very quickly is that this stock here has been pumped and pumped by high frequency program machines. So when you're long, it's wonderful to understand how you put that in your favor to your advantages. Now, I'm going to tell the people, if there are any people left that are holding the shares and or call options, the call options on Google are extremely inflated. You have a $2 gap down, that's it. I will tell you at some point, based on what high frequency programmers look at as far as part of a script goes, is still going to be what? The percent DS at 96.39. Going to the moon of where you can't go anymore in this bull run. And we featured it over the weekend. And whether it's on the earnings season that's scheduled tentatively on October 11th of 2012. And excuse me for the mic settings and whatnot if they're too high. But I'm telling people that you're going to come down in this name. And that the high frequency model, it's hit our target above our 725 target. And we've gotten up to where the upper end of the price channel resistance will be a burden. And I will tell you when I show you the weekly chart here on Google, and this is pre-market update before the open, it's because Apple was so overbought. We clearly stated last week that this name was ready for a big pullback. We clearly stated that we would use the Apple name to see where that bull sentiment and psychology or mentality is. For everyone that has pumped this to $850, it always does this, but makes calendar yearly highs. And there are some news headlines. Listen, this stock right here, I'm going to show you how overbought it was. You can see the Google. Now let's go to the weekly Apple, AAPL. Okay? And when I go down here to Apple Computer of last week, I said it was coming down. It got 94.42% on this weekly. Bull rallies have to have shakeouts. And this thing is going to gap down here right now in Apple. And I'm telling you that this stock here will follow one of these trading days, whatever kind of announcement it's coming. There will be some volatility in this Google name, just like there is volatility in this Apple name. And for the rest of the broader market in this extreme bull rally, that is the factual data. Earnings are starting in October 8th of 2012. Stocks are at their ceiling in price, valuation, and chart wise in individual names. It's a pick by pick situation, and we only pick the ones that are the best and the most overbought. So we will be buying dips when the sellers clear out of this. And I'm saying that when this chart got to 94.42% last week, that Apple was ready to pull down here. And I'm going to draw a trend line on Apple. And here's my trend line for you, MMTs. That's going to be the 680 part. But let's get down here, 673. Let's just call it 673 and a half. Right over here in this wick, in this lower level, that's going to be 677.63. We're going to be monitoring where this gap is on this weekly bar, previous week of its bull run. And right now, we can clearly see that we're at 685. We were in pre-market as low as 682. And I will be happy to show you that in the pre-market hours, that's before the regular stock market opens up, is that I will be able to show you clearly where the lows were right now, MMTs. Again, I will clearly show you that the lows were down here in pre-market at 682, where we had some of our long-term bulls buy these bounces and sell it because they know how to trade in pre-market. We do not recommend pre-market trading just to anyone. They need to be supervised and trained. And if you're a long-term veteran with us, then this is the kind of moves you get. You sell into resistance on the 3-minute pre-market chart. And you got to 682. So we know that that was done in the pre-market. We know that the weekly was at 94.42% overbought. We're going into an opening bell in 6 minutes. We know that this name over here is overbought. We know that the broader part of the market on the NASDAQ Composite and the NASDAQ 100, which is this right here. Yeah, you want to see it right here? Now, what you're going to learn about Apple today, and I'll be doing it in a different video, is you're going to be learning how this NASDAQ 100 put options at the 2875 that we were giving out to big players, institutional ones, that with this gap down, because of the percent weighting of Apple in the NASDAQ 100, that's when this NASDAQ 100 short side will work on days like today, and or getting them when they're up there at their bull high when they're overbought. We showed how overbought this was. It's not going to be as overbought now because of this gap down on Apple. And that's how the NASDAQ 100 will work, MMT, in this pre-market. Now, back to this name. When this name runs up, we're going to get a position. We're going to see if it goes how many teenies above the high? Well, the closing high on Friday. This is a closing bell from where it came off the bottom to 733.99. And we're going to see if that electronic bot runs that up or slightly above it and or below it, or is it a runaway sell gap down. $2 it starts here. And let me tell you, this name, as much as we love it, it's hit our price target. It can go higher, but it will need pullbacks before it gets there. Let it be known in pre-market on this day on 9/24/2012, where Apple was overbought, where we have said that going into the earnings season is that all of the bull rallies are bull rallied up into it. There's going to have to be some price volatility, price reversal volatility. Now, if that bull that's been sitting on the sideline, we said that we would be able to monitor on a percent level of bull and bear of where that bull mentality comes in off of the bottom, meaning that on this opening bell, how many stops are going to be taken out. It's closing $15 below it. So you got all the stop markets that get triggered on that opening bell electronically. And what the high-frequency robots do, they're going to be all in a thing. I'd like to see them go renegade and sell it down to 670. I just said that that's what I would like, where these high computing frequency algorithms run renegade and take sellers all the way out the distance before it bounces $15 off the bottom. That's one of the scenarios. We've done plenty of these left elbow gap down, and I will be teaching new MMTs how to trade that left elbow gap down in price value and run that up just like I showed in that 3-minute chart and buy that support level, sell into that resistance level, and then fade to short intraday as well. But you got to be careful, because what we're going to do, that electronic bot, and I'm going to be covering it in 3 minutes, so I'm going to end this video. Here it is, 685.75. Here's that overbought stock weekly comparison on both. Not only that, the NASDAQ 100 and Composite and all of the bull rally is overbought. Yes, it is going into a major calendar earnings season. People should scratch their head. Knock, knock. Who's there? Do I sell in at the top before the earnings come out? We know that growth is not at 4%. And that these companies are going to struggle with growth. I don't care which one it is. At lower growth rates that will be in these markets for several years. Let it be known on this day that overbought stocks in a bull run shall have pullbacks and buy the dips. This is the way that this is going to run. And this is the way that this is going to trade.